Welcome back, everyone. Today we have a Reddit post from a user who is wondering what they should do for their major in college. They have great grades and leadership ability, but are looking for advice on their next step. So let's go ahead and see what they have to say. They start out with, what career would best fit me? I understand you guys probably get this question a lot, but I would like your guys' opinion on me. When I was young, I thought I would be a doctor, but as I grew older, I questioned myself on that. As a high school freshman, I thought that being an IT guy would be the route to go, but I decided I wanted to do something more meaningful than that, something that uses my potential more. Then I thought about being a nurse practitioner, but after visiting some colleges and not being super excited about the idea of sticking people with needles and starting IVs, I am deciding to go against that idea. I am now back in the searching phase of figuring out what I want to do as a full-time career. I want something that I know I will actually want to do in the morning and enjoy doing. People always say to look at things that I enjoy doing, but I really do not know what I would enjoy. However, I do know what I would dislike doing, which is a lot of things. For instance, I dislike math, I dislike extensive science, and I am not a big fan of writing in English and other arts. I do, however, enjoy doing schoolwork in general, as I am very productive and work-driven. I have a strong work ethic. I also enjoy being a leader and making things happen. For example, one of the highlights of my junior year was when I was a leader of the prom planning committee and I hopped around setting up meetings and getting stuff done. I am also the class president, but honestly, I do not do a whole lot in that role. I have a 4.26 GPA and 34 ACT score, so I can do anything I want. It's just a matter of figuring out what it is. I would not mind a desk job, perhaps. Whatever I decide to do, I think I should at least require a master's to do it. I'm considering going into college as undecided, and hopefully they will be able to help me out there. The issue is I have a solid year of time to see if I can actually figure out something I'd like to do. Any advice or suggestion for fields to look into would be greatly appreciated. Thanks. Well, it sounds like you're off to a really good start because you've set yourself up for success by having good grades and participating in extracurricular activities, so kudos to you for that. It sounds to me like you have a strong interest in helping others, so you might want to focus somewhere in that area. And the reason I thought that was because you had mentioned doctor, nurse, and IT, which even IT is a kind of an area where you would be helping people a lot. So all three of the jobs you did mention are service type positions. So a couple of things came to mind right off the bat, and that was first, I thought maybe you'd enjoy being a social worker, because that can be a really fulfilling, though stressful job, but you would have the opportunity to work with many different people, use your leadership skills, troubleshoot, and you'd be able to help people get their lives back on track and bring stability to someone's otherwise chaotic world. Another area you might want to look into, if you are interested in the medical field, is possibly a physical therapist. So again, this is a really rewarding job, and you can make really good money with it, and it's also a very stable job. It's not super sciencey, but it's also hands-on, which I think you would really enjoy. The final option, something to think about and put in your long-term planning is, you're a really intelligent person. You obviously are really, really good at getting things done, like you said. So consider maybe at some point becoming a professor. You could either do research or you could focus on just teaching, and you might really enjoy that. But again, once that's only going to happen once you figure out your field of study. But again, this is something to think about for farther down the road, especially if you want to continue your education, getting a master's or even a doctorate. You talked about your time on the prom committee as the kind of the get stuff done person, and all of those jobs again are the hands-on type of positions, which again you would really enjoy. You don't really strike me as the type of person that would enjoy, just being behind a desk and collecting a paycheck. You seem like you're too ambitious for that, and two, you seem to really need to have that sort of connection with people and enjoy helping others. And again, that kind of speaks to your leadership ability, because leaders who are successful are usually successful in the kind of get stuff done roles where they eventually move into the directing roles later on. Not only is it much harder to learn a job when you're hands off, but it's also much more difficult to gain the respect of those around you or who work for you when you're in that director's role if you haven't started from kind of the bottom up. So just something to consider there. Another thing to consider is don't feel like you immediately need to go to college right after you graduate. So what a lot of colleges or college students don't realize, but even if you were to graduate with your bachelor's at the age of 25, you still have at least 40 years to work. In those 40 years, you're probably going to change your job or even your field multiple times. So trying to plan out your life for the next 40 years it's not gonna be good. You're gonna get frustrated. You just worry about the next like 2 to 5 years before you worry about what's gonna happen in the next 40 years. So again, that's because your interests are gonna change anyway. What you want to really focus on is what can you do now in these next 2 to 5 years that's gonna put you in a position where you're gonna be able to do more things or better things or other things after that. So you don't want to pigeonhole yourself at this point. Next, if you decide that you know what, I have to go to college, I would highly suggest going to a community college. So I went to community college for 2 years and saved a ton of money. And the great part about community college is, number one, those schools usually have advisors and professors who really specialize in helping people figure out their careers. Whereas a 4-year school is more interested in just getting students to graduate, or they're more interested in their research. So when you're in a community college, your class sizes are going to be anywhere from like 15 to 25 people in your class. In a 4-year school, in your gen eds at least, you're going to have a classroom of you might have 50 to 75 students, and you may not even really be taught by your professor. You may have a grad student or a teaching assistant as the one that teaches you. So you're not going to get you're not going to be able to connect with your professor and ask them questions like you would in a community college. Also, in a community college, the professors are there because they want to teach. They're not research driven. So again, they're more interested in connecting with their students and helping their students grow, and which I think is perfect for somebody in your position that isn't 100% sure what you want to do yet. Again, another thing is about community college is most people that go to community college are paying or have a job to put themselves through school. So you can always pick up a job on the side to gain experience in a field that to see if you even have some interest in it or if you even like it. Again, you're going to have to take the same general education classes regardless of if you go to a 4-year school or a 2-year community college. So why spend $10,000 to take the exact same classes that you could for $1,000? So again, just think about that, as you're putting together your plan. As for getting a master's, make sure you get a master's. If you do get a master's, get it in a field that requires you to get a master's in order to move up. If not, you're just wasting your money. Don't put too much stock in a college degree in general, but especially a master's. There's kind of this fallacy that a college degree is a golden ticket, and it's not. Experience such as on-the-job training, certifications, and volunteering are just as important. Another thing, if you get a master's too soon, you actually may shoot yourself in the foot without realizing it. Because when you go for that entry-level job, they might see you as overqualified and you might not even get an interview. Even if you do get an interview that for a job that doesn't require a master's and you have one, you're not really going to be at an advantage. So if you go for a job and it's between you, someone that has a master's degree, and someone who has a bachelor's, but they also have volunteer experience and some other work experience in that field, they're going to go with the other person 100% of the time. The big thing is trying to explore what you enjoy doing by getting involved through volunteering or working somewhere part-time or joining some type of student activities or student organization. So if you're thinking like physical therapy, there's probably going to be like Physical Therapy Student Association or something like that. That way you can network with students and faculty that are going to give you some of those inside things about the field that you're not going to get otherwise. And that's going to save you a lot of time from then just starting to take classes and then finding out too late that you don't like it. Again, a lot of career services at school can be really good, especially in a community college. But again, at a 4-year school, it's kind of it's a gamble. Unfortunately, a lot of times when you go into career services, they just talk to you about putting together a resume or how to practice for an interview, and that's really it. So, anyways, I hope this helps. If you have any questions or any any suggestions or anything like that you're thinking of, or if you'd like to speak with me more, please feel free to reach out to me. Just shoot me an email. As always, if you're someone else watching this video, again, please like, comment, or subscribe for more career advice and content. I hope you like this video. Have a great day, and we will see you soon.